Welcome to the deep dive. You sent us something really fascinating this time, a PDF called How to Succeed at MrBeast Production. So we're not just, skimming articles today. We're going straight to the source to understand what makes this YouTube juggernaut tick.
That's right. And forget industry reports. This is actually from Jimmy Donaldson himself, MrBeast. He calls it his silly little book, basically a brain dump of a decade of YouTube experience. It's aimed at getting new team members up to speed fast. It's a surprisingly direct look inside their whole operation.
And he starts with a very telling disclaimer, doesn't he? Saying it's not a rigid set of rules, more like a guiding philosophy, something to be taken with a grain of salt. That immediately tells you his approach isn't just following some paint-by-numbers formula. It's about getting a core mindset. Our mission today is to kind of extract that mindset, those key principles that have propelled MrBeast to, well, YouTube superstardom.
Absolutely. And it's really crucial to remember the context here. MrBeast is deeply, deeply invested in YouTube and creating content that dominates on YouTube.
Yeah.
So yeah, some of these ideas might work elsewhere, but their foundation is totally planted in the specific dynamics of that platform. This isn't some guide to traditional media success.
Right.
It's all about conquering YouTube his way.
Okay, so let's dive into that core mindset then. What's the ultimate goal, according to MrBeast? It sounds deceptively simple at first.
The main objective, stated very plainly, is to make the best YouTube videos possible. Now, what's really interesting is how he immediately clarifies that best isn't some, general term. It's not just about top-tier production or the funniest content in a vacuum.
He really emphasizes YouTube there. So what makes a video truly best in that specific environment?
For MrBeast, it really boils down to concrete results.
Yeah.
He states very directly, the team will be judged on outcomes, not just the hours they put in. They operate as a results-based company. So while dedication and hard work are definitely appreciated, especially from those grinders he mentions, the ultimate measure is how well the video performs within that YouTube ecosystem. The insight here for you, the listener, is that in pretty much any endeavor, clearly defining and focusing on the metrics that truly signal success is absolutely paramount.
That laser focus on results. It leads him to this really interesting concept, the A-player mentality. He literally categorizes his team.
He does, yeah, into A, B, and C players, and his expectations are crystal clear. He's basically building a team exclusively of A players. He describes them with this powerful list of traits. Obsessive, learns from mistakes, coachable, intelligent, doesn't make excuses, believes in YouTube, gets the company's value, and is constantly striving to be the best.
Wow.
This really highlights the importance of cultivating that high-performance culture where people are driven and constantly looking to improve. It's a valuable lesson for building any successful team, really.
That's a demanding standard, though. What happens to the B and C players?
Well, B players are seen as, promising recruits. People who have the potential to become A players with training and mentorship. Growth and development are the key expectations there. C players, however, he's pretty direct about them.
Oh.
He calls them just average employees, lacking that exceptional drive. And more importantly, he considers them poisonous to that high-performance environment. He advocates for their swift removal, albeit with severance pay.
Right.
It really underscores the idea that keeping a strong, effective team often means making some tough decisions about who fits the culture and performance standards you want.
All right, so we have the goal-best YouTube videos based on results and the team packed with A players. How do they actually get those viral results? He talks about a viral trifecta.
Yes, the essential trio for YouTube success, according to MrBeast. Click-through rate, CTR, average view duration, AVD, and average view percentage, AVP. And he really stresses that understanding these metrics is crucial for everyone on the team, no matter their specific job. This just emphasizes how important data literacy is across any organization that's aiming for online success these days.
Let's break down CTR first. That's all about getting people to actually click on the video, right?
Precisely. It's the percentage of viewers who see your thumbnail and title and actually decide to click play. MrBeast really underscores the power of extreme titles in super attention-grabbing thumbnails. He contrasts, "I spent 50 hours in my front yard," with "I spent 50 hours in ketchup." Same effort, he says, but vastly different click potential. The more intriguing or, frankly, outrageous, the better. He even suggests small tweaks, like changing "I spent" to "I survived," sort of amplify the intrigue.
Ah, interesting.
The key insight here is really the power of first impressions in a super crowded digital space. Your packaging, that title and thumbnail, is often the crucial first step in grabbing an audience.
That makes perfect sense. You're battling for attention in an incredibly noisy environment. But he also connects this directly to what happens after someone clicks, right?
Yes. This is where aligning expectations becomes absolutely critical. The title and thumbnail create a promise, essentially, and the video content has to deliver on that promise. His world's largest bouncy castle analogy is spot on.
Right, the Yeller versus Red Castle.
Exactly. If your thumbnail shows this colossal yellow castle dwarfing skyscrapers, and the video then reveals a smaller red one just sitting in a field, viewers are going to feel misled and they'll just click away.
Instantly.
This highlights the importance of authenticity in managing viewer expectations. Misleading your audience just for a quick click can really damage long-term engagement. And he insists the production team must know the video's title and thumbnail right from the start. How can you even crack the opening if you don't know what you need to deliver on?
That's a really crucial point, aligning the content with that initial promise. Okay, the second part of the trifecta is average view duration, AVD. This is about keeping people glued to the screen.
Exactly. AVD is the average length of time viewers spend watching a single video. And YouTube gives you incredibly granular data showing exactly where viewers tend to drop off. MrBeast emphasizes the absolutely critical nature of the first minute.
The first minute?
Yeah, he shares this shocking statistic. One of their videos lost 21 million viewers in that initial minute.
21 million in 60 seconds.
It's a staggering drop. It just underscores how quickly you can lose an online audience if you don't immediately capture and hold their attention.
It really does. And what's his key takeaway from data like that?
The first 60 seconds are paramount. They invest immense effort in front-loading the most interesting stuff, ensuring excellent visuals, and immediately fulfilling the expectations set by the clickbait. Without that strong initial hook, that massive drop-off could be even worse.
Wow.
The broader insight is that understanding audience behavior at a granular level, where they engage and where they lose interest, is essential for optimizing content and maximizing retention.
What about after that crucial first minute? He breaks down the next few segments.
He does. Minutes 1 through 3 are about transitioning from that initial hype to the actual execution of the video's premise. Stop telling viewers what they're going to see and start showing them.
Okay.
He mentions the tactic of crazy progression. Like in a survival challenge, they might condense multiple days' events into those opening minutes to grab attention right away. And crucially, around the 3-minute mark, they aim for a 3-minute re-engagement. A really high-interest moment, often a spectacle or something uniquely MrBeast that recaptures any wavering attention.
A rehook.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It highlights the need for ongoing engagement throughout your content, not just a strong start. You got to regularly inject new points of interest to combat viewer fatigue.
Interesting. And then what about minutes 3 to 6? What's the strategy there?
This segment focuses on exciting and interesting content that's also relatively simple to follow. They often use rapid scene changes here to maintain a high level of visual stimulation. The goal is to get viewers truly invested in the story, the personalities, the whole video experience. Yeah. If they can keep viewers engaged through this first half, the likelihood of them watching to the end goes way up. And then around the 6-minute mark, there's another key re-engagement point, often something that requires a bit more explanation or sets the stage for the latter part of the video. It just reinforces that idea of strategically structuring your content with peaks of interest to keep the momentum going.
And then there's the somewhat mysterious back half content. He sounds a bit cautious discussing that part.
He is careful, yeah. He emphasizes that he never aims for subpar content. Apparently, many videos have been scrapped entirely because of a weak second half.
Right.
However, he does acknowledge that once viewers are deeply invested around that 6-minute mark, they might enter a slightly more passive viewing mode. So less intensely engaging content might appear in this section. The crucial thing is to never signal the video's ending too early, especially before a major prize or payoff.
Keep him guessing.
Exactly. He mentions their average video length is about 13 minutes and 37 seconds, and everyone on the team is expected to know precisely what minute mark they're currently working on.
Wow, that's specific.
That level of awareness just highlights the importance of understanding content pacing and keeping viewer interest right through the entire experience.
And the final piece of the trifecta, average view percentage, AVP.
He notes that AVP is less directly within the production team's control. The overall video length is usually decided by him or Tyler. The main focus for the production team is just to create content that viewers want to watch for as long as possible, which then naturally influences the AVP.
Okay, so those are the measurable elements. But then he introduces this concept of the wow factor, which seems much more about that intangible quality.
Exactly. This is the element that you can't really track in analytics. It's that subjective feeling of amazement that makes a MrBeast video truly memorable. He uses the iconic 100 Days in the Circle video as an example.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Where they bring the contestant's house into the circle with a crane just 30 seconds into the video. He admits this was arguably not the most data-driven decision and involved huge effort, but the sheer impact it had on viewers that who else on YouTube can pull this off? Reaction is invaluable.
Totally.
It distinguishes their content, makes it feel exceptional, and ultimately drives greater viewership and engagement. It's about consistently pushing boundaries and doing things that other creators just can't or won't do. And he stresses the importance of never losing that sense of wow. The insight here is that sometimes the most impactful elements are those that defy easy measurement and just tap into a sense of wonder.
This interplay between those hard data points and this almost unquantifiable wow factor is really compelling. Okay, let's shift to the actual content creation process. He lays out a number of key principles here, starting with what sounds like a fundamental requirement, an obsession with YouTube.
Yes, he's absolutely clear. To thrive in MrBeast production, you need to be completely immersed in YouTube. He practically tells new team members to ditch other streaming services and just dedicate themselves to consuming YouTube content, especially all the MrBeast channels.
All of them.
All of them. He believes this deep understanding of the platform's nuances, current trends, and what makes their specific content resonate is essential for everyone. Production, creative, editing, everyone. He even expresses surprise when new hires haven't seen their latest gaming video. It emphasizes the importance of truly understanding the ecosystem you're operating within. Whether it's YouTube or another industry, deep familiarity with the landscape is crucial for success.
He also brings up the business management book, The Goal, and applies its principles to finding and eliminating bottlenecks in their workflow.
He does. He wants everyone to have a clear view of the whole process, from a video being scheduled right through to filming, and to be proactive in finding and fixing anything that might be slowing things down, those bottlenecks. He gives a great example of a producer needing creative input from Tyler. Instead of just passively waiting, he stresses the importance of actively communicating that Tyler is the current bottleneck, setting a firm deadline, and then following up daily to ensure progress.
Right, active management.
It's all about taking ownership and stopping projects from stalling because of communication breakdowns or just a lack of initiative. The core insight is the value of process optimization and proactive problem solving in any collaborative environment.
Another principle that really stood out is video everything. What's the thinking behind that?
It's really about fostering a collaborative and transparent production process, rather than relying on just one person's memory or understanding. By recording everything critical, sets, scouting trips, new props arriving, even behind-the-scenes stuff, the whole team can have a shared visual reference.
Makes sense.
He uses the example of scouting a location and then struggling to remember specific details later. Videos create a reliable record everyone can check, minimizing misunderstandings and streamlining planning. As he wisely puts it, which is more important, that one person has a good mental grip of something or that their entire team of 10 people have a good mental grip on something.
Good point.
It just underscores the power of shared documentation and clear communication in complex projects.
He also gives a very direct instruction. Say the negatives. It's about more than just positive feedback, clearly.
Absolutely. He doesn't just want to hear what's going well. He actively wants to know what's not working or what potential problems are lurking. He uses that funny but effective example. I found the castle we need for the video, but it's booked all year, over budget, and someone died in it last week.
Right.
It's about getting the complete picture, the potential downsides, not just the appealing surface-level stuff. This highlights the importance of open, honest communication, where potential issues get raised early and dealt with proactively.
He's very strong on accountability, especially when dealing with external contractors. It's your fault, track the contractors. Pretty blunt.
It is direct, but it reflects a crucial principle of ownership. He emphasizes that just delegating a task to someone else doesn't absolve you of responsibility. Making sure the task gets done correctly and on time ultimately falls on the person who assigned it. This means setting clear and early deadlines, having backup plans ready, and critically, doing regular check-ins and requesting progress updates, ideally in video form, to spot and fix problems early. He stresses knowing about potential issues weeks in advance, not days.
Weeks, not days. Got it.
It underscores the importance of proactive project management and clear lines of accountability, even when you're working with external partners.
And then there's a refreshing bit of self-awareness. Mr. Beast isn't always right.
Yes, he openly acknowledges his own fallibility, which is totally understandable given the sheer number of projects and businesses he's juggling. He outlines a clear process for how team members can help him make better decisions. Do thorough research, provide relevant context, and present multiple well-reasoned options. He uses that detailed car giveaway example versus just asking a vague, open-ended question.
Right. Give him options.
It's about empowering the team to contribute meaningfully to decision-making, not just passively following orders. This highlights the value of fostering a culture where team members feel comfortable challenging assumptions and offering well-supported alternatives.
The concept of critical components sounds incredibly important for the smooth execution of their massive project.
They are vital. These are the absolutely essential elements without which the video just cannot happen. Like securing a specific island for an island giveaway, that's a perfect example. Once something's identified as critical, it needs to be handled with extreme care. Constant monitoring, robust backup plans, and immediate communication of any potential issues. He even advises against relying on standard shipping for critical items, suggesting personal pickup or getting him or James involved early.
Wow.
This just underscores the importance of risk assessment and really meticulous planning, especially for the high-stakes parts of a project.
He also clearly defines communication lines, emphasizing the up and then over approach.
This principle is all about maintaining a clear and efficient flow of information across different teams and levels to avoid confusion and wasted effort. The rule is first inform your direct supervisor going up before you communicate sideways to other departments. Over.
And over.
He uses that humorous but illustrative lava sandwich example to show how skipping levels can lead to miscommunication and duplicated work. It highlights the importance of establishing clear communication protocols within any organization so information flows effectively.
I really appreciated the principle, creativity saves money. It really challenges that idea that bigger budgets automatically mean better outcomes.
Absolutely. He argues that innovative thinking is the real key to producing better videos, not just throwing more money at a problem. He uses that fantastic example of gaming video prize, $20,000 cash versus a year's supply of Doritos.
Lids Doritos.
The Doritos are far funnier, more on brand for their audience, and significantly cheaper. He urges everyone to constantly seek creative solutions to save money, because those savings ultimately help the company's long-term stability and growth.
Right.
The core insight here is that ingenuity and resourcefulness can often be more impactful and sustainable than just relying on big budgets.
Always have a backup day. Seems like common sense. But he emphasizes its critical importance, especially given the sheer scale and complexity of their productions.
Yeah, with the intricate logistics they deal with and the constant potential for unforeseen problems, having built-in flexibility for set construction, equipment rentals, even accounting for potential delays on other MrBeast projects is absolutely crucial. He even suggests prioritizing a slightly less perfect option with a flexible owner over a seemingly flawless option with no wiggle room.
Interesting trade-off.
It highlights the importance of contingency planning and just building resilience into your projects.
Don't take anything at face value. Always dig. Really reinforces that theme of thoroughness and accountability we've been seeing.
Especially when dealing with external vendors or partners. He cautions against blindly accepting claims and encourages a culture of thorough investigation, particularly if something seems too good to be true. That anecdote about the supplier who suddenly had 10,000 pillows available when no one else did, that perfectly illustrates it. Things like that should raise red flags and prompt deeper questioning. It underscores the importance of critical thinking and due diligence in all business dealings.
The idea of a higher form of communication is something many of us can probably relate to in our own lives and work.
He stresses picking the most effective communication method based on the complexity and nuance of the message. Face-to-face conversations are deemed the best, followed by phone calls, then texts, with email being the least effective for complex discussions.
Correct, the hierarchy.
And he has a crucial point. Written communication isn't considered complete until it's confirmed as read.
Ah, good point.
It highlights the importance of choosing the right medium for effective communication and making sure your message has actually been received and understood.
Own your mistakes sounds like a cornerstone of the company culture he's trying to build.
He's very clear that mistakes aren't just acceptable, they're often expected as part of learning. He even shares that experienced team members have, at times, cost him significant money through errors. His real frustration is reserved for those C players who fail to learn from their mistakes. He strongly encourages honesty and focusing on problem solving rather than making excuses. This underscores the importance of a growth mindset and a culture of accountability where mistakes are seen as opportunities for improvement.
Nothing comes before your prios seems like essential guidance for staying focused in what must be a very dynamic and demanding environment.
It is. Once tasks are assigned and priorities are clearly set, those priorities need unwavering focus. He uses a somewhat exaggerated example involving a Lamborghini to illustrate the point, basically. Avoid getting sidetracked by less critical tasks, even if they seem urgent, if it means jeopardizing your core responsibilities.
Focus.
It emphasizes the importance of effective time management and prioritizing tasks to ensure key objectives are met.
The enthusiastic endorsement of use consultants is quite striking. He clearly sees significant value in external expertise.
He calls consultants literally cheat codes. Need to build the world's largest cake. Find and hire the person who's done it before. He emphasizes the immense value of expert advice in saving both time and effort. He even instructs the listener to mentally repeat the mantra, "I will always check for consultants when I'm assigned a task," 3 times.
Wow.
It strongly suggests the value of seeking specialized knowledge and not trying to reinvent the wheel when expertise is already out there.
He then lists Math Science Vision Approvals Budget as the 5 essential tools for tackling any problem. It sounds almost like a problem-solving mantra itself.
It's presented as sort of a foundational framework, a reminder that basically any challenge can be effectively addressed by applying one or a combination of these key elements.
No does not mean no is an interesting one, particularly when negotiating with external parties. It speaks to persistence.
Exactly. He encourages what he calls pushing through no. An initial refusal shouldn't be seen as the final word. Explore all possible avenues, talk to different people in the organization, their bosses, their social media teams. Even reaching out to MrBeast directly via DM isn't off the table, apparently.
Really?
Only after exhausting every conceivable option should a no be accepted. And even then, as he illustrates with the Dollar Tree example, a rejection from one location doesn't mean a rejection from all.
Keep pushing.
It highlights the importance of resilience and creative problem solving when you hit obstacles.
He's very clear about the principle of work on multiple videos every day. This seems designed to prevent bottlenecks and maintain a consistent output.
He sees focusing only on a single video each day as a surefire way to fall behind on future projects, creating a backlog. By having the team work on several videos concurrently, they can maintain that crucial lead time and avoid those stressful last-minute rushes.
Makes sense for content creation.
Yeah, it underscores the importance of managing workflow and keeping a steady pace of production.
The instruction to be able to hold a camera is interesting. It suggests a degree of versatility and practical skills are valued across the team.
While it's not everyone's main job, he views basic camera operation skills as a valuable asset, especially for capturing smaller, spontaneous moments or handling overflow filming needs during bigger shoots. It's about maximizing efficiency and avoiding unnecessary reliance on highly specialized people for every single shot.
The 1 out of 10 good, 10 out of 10 bad metric sounds like a very quick internal benchmark for checking a new video's initial performance.
Yes. It's a direct and rapid comparison. They look at a new video's initial viewership, like in the first few hours, and stack it up against the performance of their previous 9 uploads. It gives an immediate snapshot of how it's tracking relative to their recent benchmarks.
Then we get into a rapid-fire random things section, which is just a fascinating collection of extra insights and practical advice.
Yeah, this section is like a treasure trove of experience-based tips. It covers everything from minimizing contestant waiting times, ideally no more than 3 hours, and strategically using those big spectacle videos, but not every video, to keeping the number of people on set manageable, prioritizing honest feedback within the team over just being nice, treating on-screen talent well, and routing communication through specific people, favoring simplicity in concepts with that usual grain of salt, anticipating frequent changes in plans, making sure significant spending is actually visible on camera, like think twice about off-screen costs over $10K.
Ah, okay.
Working with intense focus, scheduling all-nighters early in the process, not right before shoots, turning on-set mishaps into content opportunities, doing feasibility studies for critical components, avoiding anything that could create negative PR, clearly distinguishing between previews, what will be built, and concept inspiration for set renders.
Lots of detail there.
And the importance of those abrupt video endings to keep viewer retention high. It's a real distillation of practical knowledge gained from years of high-stakes YouTube production.
Absolutely. It gives you a real sense of just how multifaceted their operations are at that scale. Okay, moving on to creative principles, he immediately states that MrBeast Productions is creative first.
Yes, he really emphasizes that the creative vision should be the driving force behind the whole production process, and that creative thinking is a valuable asset in every role, not just for a designated creative team. He shares an example of a production team member spotting a unique opportunity out in the field and bringing that creative spark back to the core team. It underscores the importance of fostering a culture where creative contributions are encouraged and valued from everyone.
And what does Jimmy consider to be the ultimate measure of their content? It's surprisingly personal.
To excite me. That's his primary internal gauge. He explains that if he's not genuinely enthusiastic about filming a video, it's unlikely to resonate with a wider audience. He believes his own excitement is a strong indicator of what will ultimately captivate their viewers.
Interesting.
He's willing to do incredibly demanding challenges like counting to 100,000 or being buried alive if he thinks it'll result in compelling content. He also cites the constant push for improvement and innovation in all aspects of video production as a key source of his excitement. It highlights the importance of passion and genuine interest as a driving force behind successful creative work.
He then delves into the somewhat subjective question of what makes good content. It sounds like he sees almost unlimited potential there.
He does. He uses the simple example of a baby doll to show how even seemingly mundane things can be transformed into engaging content with the right creative approach. He stresses being open-minded and constantly driving for innovation. But he also acknowledges the practical constraints of YouTube. You need a narrative arc to fill the video's length, and you need simplicity to appeal to a massive, diverse audience. He emphasizes that achieving virality isn't just luck. It requires structure and following certain principles. Every single frame, he points out, will be seen by millions.
Wow, every frame.
It underscores that need to balance creative ambition with understanding the platform dynamics and audience expectations.
And how do they actually measure the success of their content once it's out there?
Primarily through those core metrics we talked about, AVD and AVP. He shows retention graphs from two videos with similar lengths but vastly different view counts, demonstrating how higher average view duration clearly shows which video connected better with the audience.
The data tells the story.
Exactly. Ultimately, the longer people watch, the more successful the video is considered. It reinforces that critical focus on hooking viewers early, crafting a compelling narrative with no dull moments, and ending with a satisfying payoff and a decisive ending. Data-driven analysis of audience engagement is key to understanding what resonates and optimizing future content.
He also discusses different formats they strategically use to boost viewer retention, like last-to-leave challenges and what he calls stair-stepping.
Yes, last-to-leave formats inherently create a strong reason for viewers to stick around until the very end to see who wins. Stair-stepping, like in their world's largest firework video, involves gradually escalating the stakes or visual spectacle throughout the video, building towards a big, satisfying climax. He also mentions chase formats, and he highlights their deliberate strategy of constantly experimenting with new formats and avoiding releasing the same format back-to-back to keep things fresh and prevent audience fatigue.
Smart. Keep them guessing.
It underscores the importance of format innovation and understanding how different structures can impact viewer engagement.
Who exactly is their target audience? It's clearly vast and diverse.
He provides some key demographic insights. While their content attracts a wide range of viewers, including families watching together, their core target is best described as a teenage memer that likes video games.
Okay.
But with a significant and growing female viewership, primarily in America and Europe, that understanding of their core audience definitely informs their content choices and creative direction.
He then has a very direct message for his team. You should watch our videos. It seems obvious, but he clearly believes it's critical.
Absolutely. He believes that being an active fan and watching their own content extensively, especially the most recent 50 videos, or ideally everything since they hit 10 million subscribers, provides invaluable context and makes team members significantly more effective.
Become a super fan.
Yeah, this deep immersion in their own product helps everyone understand the brand, the style, and what resonates with their audience.
The section on brand deals or content offers a really insightful look at their integrated approach to sponsorships. It seems very different from traditional advertising.
Totally different. They actively weave brand partnerships right into the fabric of their content to maintain viewer engagement. This is sharply contrasted with the old model of separate, often skippable ad reads that usually cause huge viewer drop-off.
Right, people just skip those.
He shares compelling retention charts that show the dramatic difference. He even mentions a sponsor CEO reporting a considerably higher ROI compared to a Super Bowl ad, citing the long-term residual viewership of their integrated brand deal videos.
Wow, better than the Super Bowl.
It highlights the power of authentic integration and how brand partnerships can actually become a valuable part of the viewer experience, not an interruption.
The concept of understand culture and the idea of an information diet is a really valuable insight, not just for content creators, but for anyone in a creative field, really.
He uses Chris Tyson's deep dive into cartoons as a prime example. How your information diet, the types of media you consume, can profoundly influence your creativity and give you a rich source of inspiration. By constantly absorbing diverse content, you build this mental library of ideas and references to draw upon.
Feed your brain.
Exactly.
He also makes a point that it's okay for the boys to be childish, referring to the on-screen talent.
He believes that letting the talent embrace their natural personalities, even their childish side, can lead to more authentic and engaging content. Authenticity often resonates really deeply with audiences.
He stresses we don't fake things, which feels crucial for building and keeping trust with their massive audience.
Honesty and genuineness are paramount. He also mentions making contestants feel comfortable to ensure their reactions are authentic and unscripted.
Other rapid-fire creative principles include having backup content for risky ideas, actively seeking feedback from lots of different people to improve content quality, strategically trying to include famous people in videos, the absolute necessity of never putting MrBeast in a position where he'd have to lie, the mandate to eliminate any dull moments, the constant emphasis on authenticity, the strategic use of abrupt endings for retention, and the need for everyone to be fully attentive and engaged on set.
Again, that rapid-fire list is just packed with practical wisdom, all learned from years of intense experience in the YouTube arena.
Finally, he addresses your career at MrBeast Productions, painting a picture of significant opportunity for ambitious and driven people.
He positions the company as an ideal long-term career spot for those seeking growth and impact. He highlights their rapid expansion and the constant need for future leaders. He describes their unconventional, whenever the fluck you want, performance review system, encouraging employees to proactively seek feedback from James on how they can improve and advance. He emphasizes that advancement is directly tied to taking on responsibility, embracing challenges, and solving problems effectively, not just tenure.
Meritocracy, essentially.
Yeah. He conveys this grand vision for the company's future, aiming for multi-billion, eventually tens of billions in value, and emphasizes the significant rewards for those instrumental in achieving that growth. He promises incredible experiences, a dynamic, fun work environment, and substantial compensation for those who prove themselves indispensable.
Wow. That was a truly deep dive into the mind and methods behind MrBeast's YouTube success. So for you, our listener, what are the key takeaways from this surprisingly insightful, silly little book?
Well, it provides a fascinating blueprint for achieving massive success on YouTube. It's all built on relentlessly striving to create the absolute best YouTube videos possible, measured by those crucial metrics: CTR, AVD, AVP.
The trifecta.
Exactly. We've seen the strategic thinking behind optimizing these metrics through compelling presentation and engaging content with those carefully planned re-engagement points. The philosophy emphasizes the vital role of creativity and resourceful problem-solving, often prioritized over just bigger budgets. The company culture fosters that high-performance A-player mentality, and their content creation process uniquely blends data-driven strategies with that essential, often unquantifiable wow factor, all within a framework of continuous learning and adaptation.
It really gives you a sense of the immense amount of deliberate thought and constant experimentation that goes into those seemingly larger-than-life videos. This deep dive has definitely provided a foundational understanding of MrBeast's unique production philosophy, offering a shortcut to some really key insights.
Absolutely. And it leaves us with a really compelling question for you, the listener, to consider. Taking these principles into account, what seemingly unconventional strategies might you be able to apply to your own field or areas of interest to achieve exceptional results? Where can you push beyond conventional wisdom and cultivate your own wow factor, while also keeping a sharp eye on the metrics that truly define success in your arena? It's about that fascinating and often rewarding intersection of data-informed strategies and those uniquely impactful, unforgettable elements that truly make something stand out.